Today, we're going to connect some dots that might seem pretty far apart. We're drawing a line from the economic headlines you see every day, all the way back through military history, and it's going to land us right in the middle of the global race for artificial intelligence. So let's dive in. We're kicking things off with this quote from Rudyard Kipling, because really, it just nails the core idea here: survival, cooperation, and that tricky line where your closest ally can also be your biggest competitor. Just keep that idea in the back of your mind. And that leads us to the big question, right? A poem from 1894 and the most cutting-edge technology of the 21st century? It sounds kind of random, but trust me, the link is way more direct than you'd think. So, let's start pulling on that thread and unravel this surprising connection. We're going to start with a term that you've probably been hearing more and more in the news lately. And that term is friendshoring. Now, on the surface, it just sounds like a smart economic strategy, a reaction to all the supply chain chaos we've seen. But there is a much, much deeper strategic game being played here. So what is it exactly? Well, friendshoring is basically deciding to build your supply chains with countries you trust, your allies, the ones with shared values. It's a way for nations to protect themselves from geopolitical risks, making sure that critical things like computer chips or medical supplies aren't coming from a potential rival. It's economics, sure, but with a serious security layer baked right in. Okay, so we have this new economic playbook. But how on earth does a trade policy like friendshoring connect to the super high-tech world of AI and robotics? Well, to get that answer, we actually need to take a step back in time. And that brings us to our next section, because history shows us a really clear pattern here. This dance between new technology, economic muscle, and military power, it's not new, not at all. Now check this out. What's so wild about this timeline of industrial revolutions is how much it's speeding up. You see the jumps? From steam to electricity to silicon and now to AI? The time between these massive, world-changing shifts is getting shorter and shorter. The pace is just exponential. And here's the crucial point. These technological revolutions, they never just stay in the civilian world. The first industrial revolution, with its steam power, it didn't just give us new factories. It gave us steamships and railroads that could move armies and weapons faster than ever imagined. It literally industrialized the act of war. And you can see exactly where the money was going. Just look at the military budgets before World War I. This chart shows what percentage of their entire economy countries were spending. The UK, the world's industrial powerhouse at the time, was pouring a massive 6% of its GDP into its military. Industrial power was being converted directly into military power. Okay, so that was the old way of doing things. But today, the global battlefield looks totally different. The major world powers are so economically tangled up with each other that an old-school, all-out war would be unbelievably destructive for everyone involved. So, the nature of conflict had to change. The future of conflict isn't just about tanks and jets anymore. It's hybrid. And the source material we're looking at today uses this really fascinating phrase for this new reality: the assorted state. And this is where it all snaps together. An assorted state conflict uses economic weapons, like, say, friendshoring, right alongside cyber attacks and propaganda campaigns to get what it wants. It's all about creating pressure, gaining an edge, and achieving your goals without ever firing a shot. Friendshoring isn't just an economic policy. It's a move on this new, invisible battlefield. So what's the one technology that's making all of this possible? The thing that's supercharging this new era of hybrid competition? You guessed it. Artificial intelligence. So let's talk about its incredible power and its very real problems. First up, it's really important to get this distinction. There are basically two flavors of AI. On the left, you've got narrow AI. That's what we have today. It's amazing at one specific job, like understanding your voice or driving a car. Then on the right, you have the holy grail, general AI, a system with actual human-like intelligence. That's the future everyone is racing toward. And let me tell you, AI is already completely changing the game in global security. It's being plugged into something called C4 ISAR. I know, it's a mouthful, but it basically means the military's digital brain. Command, control, computers, intelligence, the whole shebang. AI makes it all faster and smarter. It's also the magic behind autonomous drones, it's managing complex supply chains, and it's creating training simulations that are almost indistinguishable from reality. AI has become the new strategic high ground. And if you want to understand the sheer scale of this race, just look at this number. The global AI market is expected to be worth almost $1.4 trillion by 2029. This isn't some niche tech, it's a world-changing economic force, and it's the grand prize in this new era of global competition. But, and this is a big but, it's not an easy road. There's some major hurdles to clear. For one, cybersecurity. We have a massive global shortage of people who know how to protect these incredibly complex AI systems. Then there's the hardware itself. The advanced computer chips are at the mercy of really fragile supply chains. And maybe most important of all, AI is starving for data. Without huge amounts of good, clean data, AI can become biased, or worse, just completely useless. Okay, so you've got this high-stakes race, you've got these huge challenges. What do we do? What's the path forward? Well, the source material actually lays out a pretty clear roadmap for how to navigate this new world. And here are the big takeaways. The argument is for more global cooperation, not just cutthroat competition. That means things like a global committee to coordinate efforts, universal rules for data security, international guidelines for using AI ethically and responsibly, and of course, a huge investment in training the people who are going to build and manage all this. This quote from the source really just sums up the fundamental choice we're all facing. It's about deciding whether we invest that extra dollar in competition or in cooperating to build a future that's more humane and peaceful for everyone. And that really leaves us with this final critical question. This incredible technology, AI, it's just a tool. And just like the steam engine was a tool, it can be used to build a better, more connected world, or it can be used to build a faster, more lethal battlefield. The choice is up to us.